Here is an overview of the Blickman brew stand I have for sale. Starting out real quick, at the top we have our HLT. On the right hand side is the mash tun, and to the left is the boil kettle. And right in the middle is our tower of power. So let's go ahead and start looking at the tower of power real quick. At the bottom is a standard March pump. Here in the middle we have a flow meter which leads up to a sample port, and above that is the outlet to control either if we're returning to the mash tun or if we're going out to the boil kettle. Above that we have two electronic controllers. We'll get into these in a minute. Let's just go over the rest of the system first. This system is set up for rims, and inside here is a large coil. There will be pictures included of that. This is our outlet, which will go back over to our mash tun through here. And above that, we have our temp probe. Coming over to our mash tun, you see we have the normal Blickman thermometer here. And inside we have the auto sparge at the top. We have the louvered false bottom and the components for the auto sparge, as well as the dip tube. Coming up here to our HLT. This is the plug-in to our controller. This is the safety interlock switch, and this is the temperature probe. Inside, you'll see a large coil, and you'll also see the safety interlock switch. We'll go over how those work in a little bit. Now let's come around over to our boil kettle. It's going to be set up similar to our HLT, but it doesn't have a temperature probe plugged in. It does have a safety interlock. Make sure we're in focus. And I've upgraded this kettle to the new linear flow valve. These are really great because basically you'll have it inside. It's easy to control the flow as it comes out. When you're ready to clean, you just unscrew it all the way, pull, and you can easily put your brush all the way through. And I've got the dip tube in place, so it's hard to see all the way through, but when the dip tube's not in, you can easily clean this out. Inside, like I said, it's very similar to our HLT. We have the safety switch here, and we also have our hot blocker. So the only thing left to do now is to talk more about this. But let me go ahead and get this whole thing plugged in, and we'll come back and we'll discuss these here in a second. Okay, I have the system plugged in, but I do want to remind you, this system is for 220 to 240 volts. I do have twist locks on the end of the cables right now, but I also do have the original adapter for using with a dryer outlet. I'm going to set this down for a second, and we'll come back up to the... Okay, so let's turn these on now. See if I can get some of this glare out of here. All right, in red is what our temperature probes are reading, and in green is our set point. To change it, you use the arrows to go to where you want, and you use the enter key, and that now will tell the system, I want you to heat up to 157.4 degrees. This is for there's a cable this comes with, and you plug it into a computer and you can load up mash profiles onto this. So you can go from your protein rest to maybe a saccharification rest and up to your mash out just by clicking this button. On top are the trim controls. Right now you'll see the dashed lines. These indicate that the safety interlocks are in the down position. So let's go ahead and go over how that works real quick. So usually what will happen is when I'm done with the mash, I'll plug the boil kettle into this controller, and then I'll set it to on. This will tell me that there'll be no power going to that coil. As we sparge and we start to fill, this right here will lift. It will slowly come up as the volume comes up. And it'll keep going, and when it hits the top, this will actually come on. And now you can see the trim is showing 85. And if we dropped, you'll see it'll go back to a dashed line. The reason that's there is to make sure you have plenty of liquid in the system and you don't risk blowing your coils. So hopefully all this answers your questions. Please let me know if you have more, if you need more photos or have other questions. Thank you.